In a beautiful city surrounded by tall mountains lived four best friends: Amara, Sophie, Lena, and Grace. They had been friends for many years. They worked together, laughed together, and spent almost every weekend exploring the city. But there was one thing they all hated: the cold. Winter seemed to last forever. Every morning, they would wake up shivering, wrap themselves in thick coats, scarves, gloves, and hats, and still complain about how cold it was. One Saturday morning, the four friends met at their favorite cafe. As they sat drinking hot chocolate, snow began falling heavily outside. Amara looked through the window and sighed. "I can't do this anymore. I'm tired of being cold all the time." Sophie laughed. "You say that every winter, and every winter I mean it," Amara replied. Lena suddenly put down her cup. "Wait, why don't we actually move?" The table went quiet. Grace raised an eyebrow. "Move where?" Lena smiled. "Somewhere warm, somewhere we can wake up and actually see the sun." The four friends looked at one another. For the first time, the idea didn't sound crazy. They began discussing countries with warm, friendly weather, beautiful beaches, welcoming people, and plenty of sunshine. They opened their phones and started researching. "Look at this place!" Grace exclaimed. "Warm weather almost all year." Sophie smiled. "Imagine waking up without having to wear 3 sweaters." They all laughed. But soon the laughter became serious. They realized that moving to another country would not be easy. They would have to leave their jobs, homes, families, and everything familiar behind. Amara looked at her friends. "It will be scary, but maybe we're not supposed to stay somewhere we're unhappy just because it's familiar." Grace nodded. "We've always dreamed about having a new adventure. Maybe this is our chance." After hours of talking, they made a decision. They would move together. They spent the next few months planning, saving money, organizing their belongings, and preparing for their new lives. Finally, the day came. Standing at the airport with their suitcases beside them, the four friends looked back at the city they had called home for so long. Sophie smiled. "I'm going to miss this place." Lena hugged her. "We'll miss it, but we're going somewhere new." As their flight took off, the four friends held hands and smiled. Several hours later, they stepped out of the airport in their new country. Warm air touched their faces. The sun was shining brightly. Amara closed her eyes and smiled. Finally, sunshine. Grace laughed, and no winter coats. They all burst into laughter. They knew their new life wouldn't always be perfect. There would be challenges, homesickness, and moments when they would question their decision. But they also knew something important. Sometimes, happiness begins when you are brave enough to leave your comfort zone and search for a better tomorrow. Four friends walked into the sunshine, ready to begin the greatest adventure of their lives.